What if I told you that right now, the way you walk across your own kitchen could be quietly putting you at one of the highest fall risks you will ever face? And most people over 70 have no idea this is already happening to them step after step every single day. That is not meant to scare you. It is meant to wake you up. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn three things. First, the hidden walking pattern that almost nobody recognizes in themselves until it has already caused a fall. Second, why this pattern develops so gradually that even careful, healthy people fall into it without noticing. And third, the one simple adjustment, something you can start using on your very next step that begins protecting you immediately. No equipment, no gym membership, just one change in how your foot meets the ground. But here's the good news. This is completely within your control, and we are going to fix it together, starting right now. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. I'm Dr. Adrian Fairborn. I created this channel because the information that protects people's lives inside my clinic should not have to stay inside my clinic. After more than 2 decades working with adults over 70 as a physical therapist, I have watched one dangerous walking pattern quietly become one of the leading causes of falls in this age group. Most patients are told to simply be careful. They are rarely told why their own walk has become the danger in the first place. That gap in information is costing people their independence. And today, we are closing that gap together. Let me describe something, and I want you to think honestly about whether it sounds familiar. Picture someone walking down a hallway. Their steps are short, much shorter than they used to be. Their feet barely lift off the ground, sliding forward in a low shuffle instead of lifting cleanly with each step. Their upper body leans slightly forward. Their eyes are tilted down toward the floor, and their arms barely swing at their sides. They are moving carefully, deliberately, because somewhere in the back of their mind, they sense that the floor feels less trustworthy than it used to. This is called shuffle gait, and it is one of the most common walking patterns I see in adults over 70. It develops so gradually that most people never notice it happening. What begins as a little extra caution after a close call slowly becomes a habit. The steps get shorter. The feet stop lifting. The posture shifts forward. And what feels like careful, safe walking is actually one of the highest risk movement patterns the human body can adopt. Here's why this matters so much. When your feet shuffle close to the ground, any small irregularity in that surface, a rug edge, a slight rise in the flooring, a crack in the sidewalk, becomes an instant trip hazard. There is simply not enough clearance between your foot and the floor for anything to go wrong without it going very wrong. And because your steps are short and your weight is already pitched forward, the moment your toe catches something, your body has almost no time and no room left to recover. Research published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society has linked exactly this pattern, shortened stride and reduced foot clearance, to a fall risk nearly 3 times higher than in adults who maintain a normal heel-to-toe stride. That is not a small difference. That is the difference between a near miss and a trip to the emergency room. Think of it like driving a car with worn brake pads. Everything feels fine on a smooth, predictable road. But the moment something unexpected happens, You have far less time and far less control than you think you do. Picture a 78-year-old woman named Helen, a patient I worked with a few years ago. She came into my clinic after a fall in her own hallway. She was confused, even a little embarrassed. "I was just walking to the bathroom," she told me. "I wasn't doing anything unusual." And she was right. She wasn't doing anything unusual. That was exactly the problem. The way she had been walking every single day for the past 2 years had quietly become dangerous, and nobody had ever told her. Shuffle gait also signals something deeper happening beneath the surface. The muscles responsible for lifting your leg, your hip flexors, your glutes, your core, have weakened from underuse, and the neurological connection between your brain and your legs has slowed down. But here is what I really need you to hold on to. Both of these things are reversible, and it starts with one simple change. If you're still with me, comment number 1 below, because what I'm about to show you is the one change most doctors never have time to explain in a 15-minute appointment. The change is this. From this moment forward, every step you take should begin with your heel. This is called a heel strike, and it is how the human body is biomechanically designed to walk. When you were younger and your gait was natural and unguarded, your heel hit the ground first with every step. Your weight then rolled forward through the arch of your foot, across the ball, and pushed off through your toes to drive the next step forward. It was a smooth, continuous rolling motion, and it remains one of the most efficient and stable movement patterns the human body produces. But here is what happens over time. As the muscles weaken and confidence in our balance quietly erodes, that heel strike disappears. The foot starts landing flat or even toe first in a pattern that is shorter, lower, and far less stable. We stop rolling through the foot. We stop pushing off. We start shuffling, and with every passing month of shuffling, the very muscles that produce a proper heel strike grow weaker still, simply because they are no longer being asked to work. So, what does correcting this actually look like? It is simpler than you might think. With each step, reach your heel slightly forward, just a few inches more than usual, and let it make contact with the ground first. Feel the weight shift forward through your foot. Let your toes push off behind you as you step. Most importantly, lift your foot. Do not slide it. Pick it up. Reach it forward. Land on the heel. Exercise 1, the conscious heel strike walk. Find a clear hallway or open space with one hand lightly touching a wall for safety if needed. Walk slowly, thinking about nothing except your heel. With every step, consciously reach your heel forward and let it land first. Feel the contact. Feel your weight roll through the foot. Feel your toes push off behind you. Take 10 steps forward, turn carefully using small marching steps, and walk 10 steps back. That is 1 set. Complete 3 sets, resting 30 seconds between each. Slow down significantly here. Speed is the enemy of relearning. The slower you walk, the stronger the signal you send to your brain. But the real shock is still ahead, because the next exercise targets the exact muscle that, when it weakens, multiplies your fall risk the most. Exercise 2, the high knee march. One of the most direct consequences of shuffle gait is that your hip flexors, the muscles responsible for lifting your leg with every step, become progressively weaker. When they weaken, your foot clearance drops, and every rug, every threshold, every uneven surface becomes a potential trip. Stand behind a sturdy chair both hands resting lightly on the back for support. March in place, lifting your right knee toward your chest as high as you comfortably can, then lower it with control. Then lift the left knee. That is 1 repetition. Complete 15 on each side, 30 total, at a slow and deliberate pace. Stand tall throughout. Do not lean backward as your knee rises. The lifting work should come entirely from your hip, not from momentum. Exercise 3, the stride length walk. Shuffle gait shortens your stride dramatically, often to half of what it was in younger years. A short stride is an unstable stride. It reduces your momentum and forces your center of gravity into an awkward forward pitch position. Place 2 pieces of tape on the floor about 18 inches apart. Stand at one end, step forward, and aim to land your heel at or just beyond the second piece of tape. Step with the other foot, landing at the same distance. Walk the length of your hallway this way, 10 full strides, then turn and return. Complete 2 full lengths. If 18 inches feels too far, start with 12. The habit of reaching that heel forward with intention matters more than the exact distance. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now we reach the part of this video most people tell me changed everything for them, so stay with me. Exercise 4, the slow motion walk. Speed is where proper walking mechanics fall apart. When you walk at your normal, everyday pace, you rely on habit and momentum rather than conscious muscle control. The slow motion walk removes speed from the equation entirely, forcing every muscle involved in walking to work independently and with full control. Stand at one end of your hallway and begin walking at the slowest pace you can physically manage, so slow that each step takes 3 to 4 full seconds. Lift your foot, pause briefly in the air, reach the heel forward, lower it to the floor. Feel the weight shift, push off with the toes, and begin the next step. Walk the full length of the hallway. Turn carefully and return. That is 1 set. Complete 2 sets. This will feel strange, and that is exactly the point. Every wobble you feel is your balance system being retrained. Exercise 5, the obstacle step over. A hallway is a controlled environment, but real life is full of obstacles. Rugs, door thresholds, pet toys, garden hoses. Every one of these is a potential trip hazard for someone with reduced foot clearance. Place a rolled-up towel on the floor about 4 to 6 inches high. Stand a few feet back with a wall or chair within reach. Walk toward the obstacle at a normal, controlled pace. When you reach it, lift your right foot deliberately, high enough to clear it with room to spare, and step over. Then lift your left foot and clear it completely. Continue a few steps beyond. Turn and return, stepping over the obstacle again. Complete 5 passes in each direction. Slow down slightly as you approach the obstacle and pick your foot up early, well before you reach it. The goal is to train your brain to recognize an obstacle in advance and respond with control rather than panic. Here is the number that I want you to remember. Adults who correct a shuffling gait and restore a proper heel strike pattern often notice meaningfully steadier, more confident steps within just a few weeks of consistent daily practice. Not months, weeks. Because this is not purely a strength problem that takes a year to fix. It is a pattern problem, and patterns can be relearned far faster than muscle can be rebuilt from nothing. Before you go, I need to say something important because your safety always comes first. Important warning: Before you begin practicing any of these exercises, I need you to take this seriously because your safety is everything. If you have recently had a hip or knee replacement, are being treated for plantar fasciitis or any other heel condition, or have been told by your doctor to avoid weight-bearing exercise, please speak with your physician or physical therapist before attempting these movements. Some may need to be modified for your specific situation. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not medical advice, and it is not a substitute for a conversation with your doctor. It is absolutely not a reason to stop any treatment or medication without professional guidance. Always practice near a wall, countertop, or sturdy chair. Wear non-slip footwear or go barefoot on a safe surface. If at any point you feel sharp pain, dizziness, or anything that does not feel right, stop immediately. Progress at your own pace and trust your body to tell you when it is ready for more. Over the last few minutes, you have learned why shuffle gait develops so quietly, why it puts you at such serious risk, and the one change, the heel strike, that can begin protecting you, starting with your very next step. You now have 5 exercises: the conscious heel strike walk, the high knee march, the stride length walk, the slow motion walk, and the obstacle step over. Practice them consistently, not perfectly, a few minutes a day, and the pattern that took years to form can begin reversing in weeks. This is not about becoming a different person. It is about walking the way your body was always designed to walk, with confidence, with stability, and without that quiet fear that something might go wrong with your very next step. That kind of confidence is not a small thing. It is everything. Helen, the patient I told you about earlier, practiced these same 5 exercises for 6 weeks. She did not become a different person. She simply became herself again, the version of herself who could walk to her mailbox, climb her own stairs, and chase after her grandchildren in the backyard without that quiet, nagging fear in the back of her mind. That is what I want for you too. In the next video, I am going to show you the 3 warning signs your balance is declining long before your first fall happens. Signs almost nobody recognizes until it is too late. You will want to watch that one next. I would love to hear from you. Has anyone ever told you that you walk differently than you used to? Leave a comment with your age and where you're watching from. Your experience might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear today. Independence is not about being young again. It is about trusting your own 2 feet, one step at a time, for as long as possible. That trust can be rebuilt, and you do not have to do it alone. I will be right here with the next video, walking through this with you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.